Hi there. It's kind of late. It's 24 minutes before midnight. But I just thought I'll do a little update before I go to bed. I hope someone is awake. Maybe you're awake on the other side of the planet right now. It'll be like a little bit early, I guess, in Sweden. It's that 7 hours difference. And but maybe you guys in India, Australia, New Zealand, you're wide awake. So, hello. I just wanted to say that I've uploaded now Birdparty also to Facebook. It is on this same channel here on the Colibri Expeditions Facebook page. So you can find it there and you can share it with your friends. Now, one thing when you're sharing on Facebook, so it's better to share something that is already on Facebook, like this video now on the page. However, Facebook will punish a little bit that because it's on a page rather than being on a profile. But if you share it and maybe tag someone that you really want to see the video, someone that you think would enjoy it, if you tag that one person when you're posting the video on your profile, it's much better chance that that person will actually see it, right? And also you may use Messenger, and you can send the video directly to people and ask them to share it as well. Another way that you can also use is that the version that is on YouTube, that you can share on groups. That it doesn't really matter because then it's more of a closed party and people will see any updates, and if they click through, well, in that case they will see the video. An advantage with the video that is on Facebook is that it will start automatically when people sort of hovering over it without the voice. And I've put on the captions also. So those captions will be activated when people put the cursor on top of the video, or at least it should be in theory. So it is a little bit easier to spread the video by using the Facebook version rather than the YouTube version. So now it is right here on this same channel. So go ahead and share as much as you want. I've had a bit of a boost today that the people from Kowa, who I was using their backdrop while I was doing some live singing at the Space Coast Birding Festival. And so two of our dear friends there have been sharing the video. That's yes, Jeff Bouton and Robert Wilson have been sharing the video. So and a lot of people have been seeing it. So that's great, great news. Anyway, that's about that. Today I've been out birding. I went to one of very nice park actually. It's called Loma Maria. This is the second time I visited there, and I only had one person coming with me, Kirby Rausch. He's actually Peruvian. It sounds some mixture his name, but Peruvian guy with some German descent. And we went birding this morning. I ran there, ran back. I've done a little bit more running and small little bouts today, and sort of added up to about 12 kilometers. And now I'm sort of realizing that it's only like 1 week before we are actually being able to go a little bit further if everything sort of falls into place. They opened up these supermarkets today. I mean, the shopping malls. The shopping malls were open today. And so it seems that it should be possible to go birding a little bit further afield on Monday. And so next Monday, I'm planning to head to our nearest wetland here. It's called Pantanos de Villa, and hope to find some nice birds there. So, yeah, and the rest of the day today, I have been updating my page, Seven Wonders Birding. I put down a few more updates on um, departures for next year. So what I've done is that I've simply put the same departures that did not run this year or will not run because of the COVID-19, and I've added those into the calendar for next year. And so they involve Uganda in August, late August, early September. It's unlikely that that will happen this year, but who knows? If possible, then if we get some people booking up in the last minute, but most likely it will not run then. And so we're planning that for next year, and that again, it's under the same premises that we're trying to do the tours short and including the most important stuff. So Uganda, of course, boat bill, chimps, and gorilla, and everything else is icing on the cake on that one. I also set new dates for Borneo, which did not happen this year. We managed to get some space for June this year at the Borneo Rainforest Lodge. That is an extremely difficult lodge to get room at or get vacancies, and so it needs to be booked very, very long ahead. So if you're interested in Borneo, do check that out. It's in June next year then. And the price tag is rather high for such a short tour. And it has to do with the Borneo Rainforest Lodge, plus that we are having, we include the internal flights as well, right? And I'm counting on a fairly small group also. So that also makes the price tag a little bit higher. However, it is the fastest way to see the specialities of Borneo, and with orangutans and rhinoceros monkeys, and we have the best chance of the Borneo bristlehead, the only endemic bird family for Borneo at Borneo Rainforest Lodge. And so it's a top-notch lodge. We're using top-notch guides all the time. I will be on the trip myself as well. And there's a pre-tour also, which is more nicely priced to Mount Kinabalu, which have most of the sort of highland endemics of Borneo and is a must for the serious birders. So we're doing a full 3 days there. We have like one day that we're arriving to Kinabalu, Kota Kinabalu, and then the last day we're staying on day 4, so to speak. We're staying overnight, and the next morning we will fly and do the lowlands and the Borneo Rainforest Lodge. And the Sepilok Rainforest Discovery Center with the amazing canopy walkway. And it's like, yeah, it's an amazing structure. It's all steel, it's like a boardwalk, but it's like 40 meters up in the air. And we're doing both a morning walk there and then an evening walk. A great place to see flying giant foxes flying straight overhead. Great trip, which I did last year, and I will looking forward to do it again next June. What else? I've also been doing a little bit of updates. I still don't have a fixed price for that, but I think the price will not be too bad for Egypt in February, early February next year, doing a 7-day Egypt tour. Maybe it's 7 or 8 days. So it's basically a full week, and you fly in on a Saturday and you end on I think you end on a Saturday also. And so it's 8 days in total. And it includes the Cairo. I mean, this is as much archaeological trip or even more so than a birding trip, but we are watching birds every day, right? So it's the archaeology itinerary that everybody does. A little bit compressed to make it into just 1 week. But we do pre-dawn, dawn birding every day. We will be birding on the Nile as well. We do all the classic Egyptian sites from Abu Simbel and the Luxor temples, the Valley of the Kings, the Aswan, the Cairo, the museum. They're building a new museum now in Cairo as well, and that will probably be ready by January. I don't know how much they advanced now during the COVID-19, of course, but they are building it's going to be like double the size. So after the trip, people will be able to spend another half day there if they want to at the Egypt Museum in Cairo. Obviously, the pyramids around Cairo as well, and some wetlands there as well. And to that trip, we add a Petra extension for those that want to do that. And that's mainly to see the Petra site, but it also, it gives you a couple of good birds as well. And yeah. And as I mentioned in the previous update, also people that want to do the Japan tour, our Winter Japan, very popular Winter Japan. It'll be our 5th year in a row. Wow. 5 years in a row now. And I'm studying Japanese every day. As I told you in my last update, I'm doing a lot of Japanese, especially this week. I'm having intensive Japanese Duolingo sessions now this week, plus my Pimsleur course. But anyway, so that will be our... it's 5 full days, and it's like a day arriving and a day leaving. And then for people that want to, we also have in total 7 days of extension that people can do, and they're like split up in 2 3-day segments and one day segment. And so it's like Okinawa, the cranes in the south, and the pelagic go up to Miyakijima, which is the islands, the isolated islands sort of out from Tokyo, and which is great for a couple of endemics that you can find there. They're a bit more difficult in the winter. We struggled a little bit on the we didn't get the thrush, which is seemingly quite hard that time of year. So I have a reason to go back and to try to get the thrush this time and be even more attentive at first light. That's the time when allegedly you see it. But the pelagic is just fantastic on the way back. It's the best way of seeing the Lyson albatross, short-tailed albatross, and black-footed albatross. All 3 species are relatively abundant on the way back to Tokyo the following day. So a great pelagic that everyone that loves pelagic birds should do at one time or another. Right, so check out 7 Wonders Birding. I will be doing more updates there. I'm also planning to have at the turn just after New Year's, actually on January 1st, I think, or January 2nd. Started with New Zealand for 10 days. It's 5 + 5. So if you're interested in New Zealand and the endemic bird families, you do the first part. And if you want to have some of the highlights with some sort of special birds also on the South Island, like the Kea and the black stilt, also going to Stewart Island, and the fantastic pelagic from Kowa, we will do that the following 5 days. It's a very intense New Zealand program if you do the full 10 days, but you will see most of the best stuff. We may miss, one or 2 endemics, but it's another brown job. We are trying to get all the bird families and the birds that you will remember afterwards. So that's sort of the main thing about these 2 tours. And right after that, we'll continue with a similar setup also in Australia, where we have 5 days hunting down all the endemic bird families along the east coast through Cairns, Brisbane, and Sydney, and doing stops various places, and that's a 5-day tour. Then we have we're flying into Melbourne, and we do 2 days around Melbourne for trying to see how was that again? Oh yeah, no. What we're doing is that we're flying through Melbourne to Tasmania, and in Tasmania we do 3 days or 4 days in Tasmania and 1 day in Melbourne, and that is basically to try to get all the iconic mammals of Australia in a very, very short time. So we're getting Tasmanian devil, platypus, koalas, the grey kangaroo, and did I say Tasmanian? Yeah, I said Tasmanian devil, right? And also all the Tasmanian bird endemics, and hopefully also the noisy, what's it called? Noisy scrub. I can't remember the names now. There's one more endemic there we can get on the coast. Yeah, there's too many birds. You know how it is. Anyway, so and then after that we have another 2-day extension for Plains Wanderer. Hopefully we'll get that. That's one of the most difficult bird families in Australia. So if you're interested more about this strategy about Seven Wonders birding, I think you should check out some of the webinars that you can find on our YouTube channel. And there is one webinar that is called something about that birding should be, we have to provide a new type of birding tours. And that's what Seven Wonders birding is. It's a new type of birding tours, very short tours that you can do in a week if that's all the time you have, and get the best of the destination that way. And that could be bird families if you want intense birding, or it could be like highlights of being very specific archaeological sites that you want to see. All this is very well explained in that webinar, so you should really check that out. And that's about all I had to say for this time. I'll see you back here tomorrow on my Facebook profile. I didn't do an update today, but hopefully I will do one tomorrow. And then again here tomorrow night. I see you. Take care now. Good night.